Sometimes the most sacred moments in your life happen when nobody else sees. In the quiet, in the waiting, in the late nights when your pillow is soaked with tears no one else knows about. That's where your real faith is forged. God has seen it all. The days you kept your head high when your world felt like it was collapsing. The times you spoke hope over yourself when your heart was heavy with despair. The moments you held on with trembling hands and whispered, "God, I don't know how much longer I can take this." And he whispered back, "Just a little longer. My child, don't give up." That whisper, it was real. And even now, God is saying it again. He's saying it through this message, through this voice, through this moment. You are not here by accident. You are not watching this by coincidence. You are divinely appointed to hear this right now, because God is closer than ever. The enemy has tried to convince you that it's too late, that too much time has passed, that you've missed your window, that your best days are behind you. But he is a liar, and you must reject his voice. God is not limited by time. He's not bound by human calendars. He does not work according to earthly schedules. He is the God of restoration, and he knows how to redeem time. Joel 2:25 says, "I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten." Yes, the years, the missed opportunities, the broken seasons, the time you thought you wasted. God says, "Watch me restore it," not just with compensation, but with multiplication. He's not just giving back what was lost. He's giving back more than you ever had. The blessing coming to you is not equal to your pain. It's greater, because that's who he is. He always gives in abundance. Ephesians 3:20 reminds us, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." You've been asking, you've been imagining, but God is about to exceed both, so don't give up. If you stop now, you'll never know how close you truly were. If you quit now, you'll never taste the fruit of the faith you've planted. If you let go now, you'll forfeit the miracle that's already headed in your direction. Yes, already on the way, because faith moves heaven, and you've been faithful. No, not perfect, but faithful, and God honors faith. Every step you've taken toward him, he's recorded it. Every act of obedience, every time you turned away from temptation, every time you chose the narrow road, every time you chose peace over retaliation, every time you trusted him over your own understanding, he saw it, he smiled, and now he's moving. He's rearranging things on your behalf, lining up people, adjusting timings, positioning favor to overtake you. You thought it was over, but really, it's just beginning. That thing you thought was final, it was only a comma, not a period. God is still writing your story, and the chapter you're stepping into, it will be filled with joy that makes you forget the sorrow, peace that silences the pain, breakthroughs that outshine the battles, love that makes you feel safe again. But you must stay in position. You must stay faithful in the waiting. You must keep trusting, even when there's no visible evidence. Because it's not just about what you see. It's about what God said. And when he speaks, no circumstance can cancel it. You may feel unqualified. You may feel like you don't have enough. You may feel like you've messed up too much. But God isn't choosing you because of your qualifications. He's choosing you because of your heart. That's always been what matters most to him. Not your record, not your resume, but your heart. A heart that says, "God, I trust you, even when it hurts, even when I don't understand." That kind of heart, he blesses it. He surrounds it. He leads it to victory. And victory is what's ahead of you. So take a deep breath. Let go of the fear. Let go of the timeline. Let go of trying to figure it all out. You don't need to see the whole path to keep walking forward. All you need is faith for the next step. Just the next step. Because God is ordering them. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." Your path is being made straight, even if it feels twisted, even if it feels delayed, even if it feels confusing. Trust the guide more than the map. He's leading you exactly where you're meant to be, not a step early, not a second late, right on time. And what's waiting for you on the other side of this faith walk? It's more than you imagined. It's not just the answer to your prayer. It's the healing of your heart. It's the restoration of your hope. It's the revival of your purpose. You're not just surviving this season, you're becoming in it. God is shaping you into someone who can carry more, with grace, with wisdom, with maturity. He didn't choose someone else because he wanted you. He knows exactly what's inside you. He sees the potential even when you feel weak. That's why you're still here. That's why this message found you. That's why your heart is beating with fresh hope right now. Because heaven wants you to know you're not done, and he's not done with you. So lift your head, even if it's just a little. Open your heart, even if it's still healing. Whisper your yes to God again, even if your voice shakes, because your surrender is more powerful than your strength. And when you give God your all, even when your all feels small, he multiplies it. He takes your little and makes it overflow. He takes your weakness and shows his strength. He takes your brokenness and creates beauty. He takes your scars and turns them into testimonies. You are not damaged goods. You are chosen. You are beloved. You are needed. And your story is not over. In fact, your testimony is about to begin. Not the one about how much you lost, but the one about how much God restored. Not the one about how long you waited, but the one about how perfectly he showed up. Not the one about how deep the pain went, but the one about how wide the blessing came. So speak it now. Declare it. Say it with your heart, your soul, your faith. I will not give up. My breakthrough is near. My God is faithful. If you believe that, if your spirit agrees with that, write it in the comments now. Blessed and ready. Let the world know you're still standing. Let heaven know you're still believing. Let yourself know you haven't given up on the promise. And don't keep this moment to yourself. There's someone you know who needs this message. Someone who's silently wondering if God still cares. Someone who's holding back tears and putting on a brave face. Be the one to send them this word. Share this video with your friends. Send it to your family. Post it online. Let your act of sharing become an act of healing for someone else. Because you're not just a receiver of the message, you're a messenger. You've been through enough to lift someone else now. You've seen enough to speak faith to another heart. You've grown enough to guide others to the one who carried you. And before you go, if you haven't already, please like this video. It helps more people find these messages when they need them most. It pushes this word out to someone else's timeline who's just one, God, help me, away from giving up. And please subscribe to this channel, God's Message Today. Click the notification bell so you never miss the next word of comfort, confirmation, and clarity. This isn't just another video. It's a holy space, a spiritual moment, a divine appointment, and there are more waiting for you. Come back again. Come hungry. Come open. Come ready. Because God is still speaking, still loving, still guiding. And the next thing he says to you might just change everything. So for now, hold on. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're right where you need to be. And the blessing that's been waiting on you, it's already moving. It's already coming. And when it reaches you, you'll know. This was the moment you refused to give up. and heaven rejoiced. We love you. We are praying for you, and we'll see you again in the next message. God bless you. You said, God says, I will answer your silent prayer. ChatGPT said, absolutely. Here's a continuation of your series with the next unique, original script written in the same divine, voiceover style as before. This next section will be at least 1,800 plus words and formatted exactly as you requested. You didn't have to speak out loud. You didn't have to explain your pain to anyone. You didn't have to tell the world how exhausted you were, because God already heard what your soul whispered. That silent prayer you lifted when no one was around, He heard it. The one you weren't sure had the right words. The one you cried in your spirit when your mouth couldn't form a sentence. The one that said, God, I don't even know what to pray for anymore. I just need you. Yes, He heard that one. And God says to you now, I will answer your silent prayer. Not because you earned it, not because you were strong all the time, but because your heart was turned toward Him, even when you were broken. That's what moved Him, not your eloquence, not your perfection, but your honesty. You didn't pretend. You didn't cover up your sorrow with pride. You came to Him as you were, tired, confused, maybe even doubting, but still willing to trust. And heaven moved for you the moment. You did, because our Father doesn't need you to be impressive. He needs you to be real. He needs you to say, God, I'm hurting. God, I'm trying. God, I don't see a way, but I believe you can make one. And that is exactly what He's doing now. God is making a way for you, through the confusion, through the pain, through the walls that seemed too high to climb, through the doors that remained closed for too long. He is moving, even if you can't see it yet, even if you've carried your silent prayer for a long time. It's lived inside you like a hidden flame, sometimes flickering, sometimes fading, but never fully going out. You didn't always have the words to explain it, not to your family, not to your friends, sometimes not even to yourself. But God understood. He understood the ache behind your silence. He understood the longing buried deep beneath your smile. He understood the weariness behind your strength. And now He's saying again, in this moment, my child, I heard you the first time. He heard the prayers you whispered while doing the dishes. He heard the prayers you silently cried while others celebrated. He heard the unspoken dreams you laid on your pillow each night. He heard the thoughts you were too afraid to speak. Nothing was missed. Even when your words were tangled in fear. Even when you weren't sure if it was okay to hope again. Even when you questioned if it was selfish to still want what you wanted. God was listening. And more than that, He was collecting. Yes, collecting every tear. Psalm 56:8 says, You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Every tear you shed in private has been documented by heaven. Not ignored, not wasted, not forgotten. Heaven doesn't overlook pain. Heaven redeems it. And now there is a shift in the spiritual atmosphere. A response is being released. A divine turning point is being written over your life. You are stepping into a season of answers. Not just noise, not just signs, not just vague encouragement, but clear, unmistakable answers. Answers that confirm everything your spirit has quietly hoped for. Answers that silence the doubt and validate the journey. Answers that say, you were never foolish for believing. God is not just granting your request. He's giving you peace to carry it. He's giving you the wisdom to manage it. He's giving you the maturity to protect it. Because when the answer comes, it won't look like survival anymore. It will look like abundance. This is not a partial blessing. This is not a momentary escape. This is a permanent shift. But before it appears in your hands, it begins in your spirit, right here. right now. With this simple truth, God is faithful. Always. Even when it felt like he was silent, he was working. Even when you thought the door had closed, he was building a better one. Even when the weight made you question your worth, he was shaping your strength, because your heart matters more than your timeline. Your soul matters more than your schedule. God wasn't punishing you by delaying the answer. He was protecting you. He was preparing the environment around you. He was pruning the distractions. He was removing counterfeit options. He was aligning what needed to be aligned so that when the answer came, it would come in peace, not pressure. God does not bring confusion. He does not bring chaos. He brings peace that surpasses understanding. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." That peace is coming upon you now. Even before the external situation changes, you will begin to feel a stillness inside, a knowing, a quiet confidence that says, God's got this. I don't need to panic anymore. Because when you truly trust, you don't have to carry the weight of the outcome. You just walk forward in faith, one small step at a time, one prayer at a time, one moment of surrender at a time. And your surrender, that is your strength. It tells heaven, I don't need to understand everything to believe in your goodness. I don't need to see results to believe in your timing. I don't need a sign to know you're still working. That is the faith that pleases God. Hebrews 11:6 says, without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. You have been seeking earnestly, quietly, consistently, and the reward is coming. You didn't chase a quick blessing. You sought the heart of God. And when you seek his heart, you find your purpose. You find your identity. You find rest. Rest from the striving. Rest from the comparisons. Rest from the pressure to have it all together. You don't need to perform for this promise. You just need to receive it, because it's not about deserving. It's about grace. And grace is God's favor freely given to the willing, not the perfect. So if you're willing to believe again, willing to trust again, willing to rest in him again, you're ready. Yes, you are ready. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel doubtful, even if part of you is still scared to hope, you're ready. Because it's not about feeling ready. It's about choosing to say yes in the midst of your uncertainty. And God will do the rest. He'll bring the people. He'll open the doors. He'll align the resources. He'll direct the steps. All he needs is your yes. And he hears even the silent ones. So now, speak to him in your heart. Tell him, God, I still believe. Even when I don't understand, I believe. Even when it hurts, I believe. Even when the wait feels long, I believe you are good. Say it out loud or write it in the comments if you feel led. I believe God heard my silent prayer. Let that be your declaration, your spiritual anchor, your personal agreement with heaven. And don't just receive this word, release it. Someone you know is quietly hurting. They haven't said anything, but you can feel their heaviness. You see the change in their eyes. You know they're holding on by a thread. Be the one who sends them this. Be the bridge between their pain and God's promise. Send this video to someone who needs hope. Text it. Share it online. Keep listening as I continue to tell you what God prepared for your future. There were days you sat quietly in your room, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to explain the heaviness in your chest. You didn't have the energy to cry out loud. You didn't have the strength to pick up the phone and talk to someone about it. You simply sat there, hands in your lap, eyes staring off at nothing, and inside you whispered, God, help me. It wasn't loud, it wasn't eloquent, but it was real, and God heard it. There were moments when you felt completely forgotten. You watched others move forward, succeed, get noticed, get celebrated, while you sat quietly, wondering if anyone knew you were struggling to hold on. And God knew. He knew that your faith wasn't loud, but it was alive. He saw the battle behind your smile. He understood what nobody else did. And the whole time, he was moving slowly, gently, precisely, answering your silent prayer. It didn't always look like an answer. Sometimes it looked like doors closing. Sometimes it looked like friendships ending. Sometimes it looked like confusion or delay. But now heaven is revealing something deeper to you. Every unanswered question was protection. Every delay was preparation. Every no was a setup for a better yes. Because you weren't praying for something temporary. You were praying for something true. You didn't want just a quick solution. You wanted something that would last. Something that would heal. Something that would make you whole. And that's the kind of answer God gives. He doesn't just respond to your voice. He responds to your spirit. He answers what your heart really needs, not just what your mind thinks it wants. That's why some prayers took longer. That's why some doors didn't open when you asked. That's why certain things that looked good never lasted. Because God was answering the real prayer. The one you didn't even have words for yet. The one that said, God, I don't just want relief. I want purpose. God, I don't just want company. I want love. God, I don't just want success. I want peace. God, I don't just want something. I want you. And because you chose that, because your heart was aimed at him, not just at gain, you're now stepping into a season of holy fulfillment. It will be deep. It will be full. It will be everything you never had the words to ask for. Because God is not just a giver, he's a restorer. Joel 2:26-27 says, You will have plenty to eat until you are full, and you will praise the name of the Lord your God, who has worked wonders for you. Never again will my people be shamed. You've gone without for a long time. You've been in a season where you barely got by, emotionally, spiritually, sometimes even financially. But now God is saying, you will have plenty, not just in your wallet, but in your heart, in your relationships, in your dreams, in your purpose. He is giving you fullness, the kind that overflows, a kind that doesn't come from people or promotions or applause, the kind that only heaven can provide. And when it comes, you won't have to second guess it. You won't have to wonder if it's real. You won't have to fear that it's too good to last, because it will be different. It will come with peace, not pressure, with confirmation, not confusion, with assurance, not anxiety, because this answer is born from heaven's wisdom, not the world's timing. God has been growing your roots. He's been building your inner life. And now, what's been happening in secret is about to become visible. You're about to walk in what you've been praying for, even when you didn't know how to say it. So don't be discouraged by what hasn't happened yet. Don't let silence make you think you were ignored. Don't let time convince you that you were forgotten. God doesn't operate on human schedules. He operates in divine alignment. He is not random. He is intentional. He is exact. He doesn't just answer prayers. He answers them perfectly. And when he moves, everything that felt delayed will suddenly feel right on time. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. That includes your situation, your story, your relationships, your purpose, your restoration. He is making it all beautiful, not in a way that erases the past, but in a way that redeems it. Your pain wasn't wasted. Your waiting wasn't in vain. Your quiet endurance wasn't invisible. He saw it all. And now he's rewarding it. So don't lower your expectations. Don't talk yourself out of the blessing. Don't shrink your faith because you're afraid to be disappointed again. Lift your eyes. Your answer is near, closer than it's ever been, closer than you feel, closer than you think, because this time you're not chasing it. It's chasing you. Goodness is overtaking you. Favor is locating you. Grace is finding you, not because you chased after it, but because you chased God. You stayed faithful when it was hard. You kept walking when you were tired. You kept showing up when nobody clapped for you. You kept believing when nothing changed. God is about to show you why. There will be a moment soon where you'll look back at this very season and say, this is why I didn't give up. This is why the delay was worth it. This is why God had to take his time. Because the outcome will be so holy, so healing, so fulfilling, that it will silence every doubt you ever had. And more than that, it will ignite something in you, a deeper trust, a more settled peace, a boldness in prayer, a strength in your spirit that says, if God heard me once, he'll hear me again. You'll become a living testimony, not of how fast God works, but of how faithful he is. Others will look at your life and say, I know you've been through some things, but there's peace in your eyes. And you'll smile and say, yes, because God heard my silent prayer. So right now, declare it. Say it out loud. Write it in the comments. Whisper it to yourself if you have to. God is answering my silent prayer. Let those words take root in you. Let them change the way you carry yourself. Let them realign your thoughts. Let them remind your soul that you're not forgotten. And if this message speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. You know someone who needs this, someone who's quietly suffering, someone who hasn't told anyone what they're dealing with, someone who feels invisible. Be the one to reach out. You don't have to keep pretending that everything is fine. God never asked you to hide your weariness. He never demanded that you always be strong for everyone else. He never expected you to carry the whole weight of your life on your own, because he knows you. He knows the heaviness you try to hide. He knows the silent battles you fight. He knows how hard it's been for you to keep walking with faith when the road kept getting harder instead of easier. And yet you kept going. Even if it was slow, even if it was messy, even if all you could manage was a whisper of, God, help me get through today. That was enough. That whisper was heard. Your quiet endurance is not small in the eyes of heaven. God doesn't compare your journey to anyone else's. He's not measuring you by what you did or didn't do this year. He's not keeping a scoreboard. He's keeping your heart close. And today, he's reminding you of something sacred. You are not forgotten. Not by him. Not by the promise, not by the future he designed for you before you were even born. You felt overlooked. You've watched others be celebrated, others move forward, others receive blessings you once thought were meant for you. And you stayed silent. You stayed quiet. You told yourself, maybe it just wasn't my time. But what you didn't see, what you couldn't yet understand, was that your silence wasn't the end. It was a sanctuary, a holy space where God was doing the deep work, the kind of work that can't be rushed, the kind of healing that can't be done in front of a crowd, the kind of preparation that happens in private, because your blessing is too important to be birthed in the spotlight. It had to be cultivated in the stillness, in the prayers you whispered, in the tears you cried, in the strength you didn't know you had. Now, hear this in your spirit. The silence is breaking. What was hidden is coming into view. What was quiet is becoming clear. What you carried alone will now be revealed as glory. God is moving things into position right now. He's aligning people you haven't met yet. He's touching opportunities you haven't imagined. He's softening hearts that once rejected you. He's opening doors that seemed permanently closed. And it's not because you fought for it. It's not because you forced it. It's because you waited, and you trusted, and you believed, even when it hurt. God responds to that kind of faith. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." You've waited, and your strength is being renewed now. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Your spirit is rising again. You're not broken like you thought. You're not abandoned like you feared. You're not finished like the enemy whispered. You are becoming everything God knew you were before life tried to tell you otherwise. Before trauma tried to rewrite your identity. Before rejection tried to reduce your worth. Before shame tried to silence your voice. You are becoming. And soon the world will see what God always knew. But let it be known, this did not happen overnight. This didn't come easy. This didn't fall into your lap. It was the result of years of faith. Years of showing up. Years of surrendering what you wanted, so God could give you what you needed. Years of stretching when you wanted to stop. Years of praying, even when the heavens seemed silent. That kind of obedience doesn't return void. Hebrews 10:35-36 says, "So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded." You need to persevere, so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. You have done His will, even in your weakness, even in your doubts, even in your moments of frustration. And because of that, you will receive the promise, not just a piece of it, but the whole thing. Full restoration, full healing, full provision, full redemption. The pain of the past is not your identity. The delay is not your punishment. The silence was not rejection. It was protection. God knew when to answer. He knew how to answer. And He knew why you had to wait, because some answers come early and fade fast. But what He's doing in your life is eternal. So don't rush what God is making holy. Don't compare your timeline to someone else's. Don't despise the process just because it's quiet. Some of the most powerful transformations happen with no audience at all. Just you, God, and your surrendered heart. And now, in this sacred moment, God is breathing fresh hope into you again. He's saying, "I haven't changed my mind about you. The promise still stands. You are still my chosen one." Let that truth sink deep into your soul. You are not just surviving anymore. You are being raised up. You're going to look back on this season and say, "That's where I found God again. That's where I discovered strength I didn't know I had. That's where my life turned." So hold on a little longer. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. You've come too far to quit now. You've endured too much to let go. You've invested too many prayers to walk away. And you're closer than you think. Yes, closer than you think. Moment you've been waiting for. The healing you've needed. The breakthrough that felt like it would never arrive. It's already forming. It's already moving. It's already been commanded by heaven. The word has gone forth. The angels are assigned. The Spirit is preparing you to receive. Now lift your head. Wipe your tears. Breathe deep. And say it out loud. God is answering my silent prayer. Write it in the comments if you feel it in your spirit. Let that confession be your declaration. Let it be your reminder when doubt returns. Let it be your anchor on the hard days. Because once you declare it, you shift from waiting in fear to waiting in faith. And faith is what moves mountains. Faith is what unlocks doors. Faith is what brings heaven to earth. So walk in that. Even if your steps are small, even if your heart still feels heavy, even if you're not sure how it will happen, walk in faith because God is faithful. You've waited so long for something to change. You've walked with a quiet strength most people never saw. You showed up when it was hard. You kept praying when it felt like nothing moved. You smiled through tears. You loved when it hurt. And all the while, you wondered, did God see it? The answer is yes. Yes, God saw every silent moment. Yes, He kept count of your tears. Yes, He paid attention to what others ignored. And yes, He's answering you now, not only with results, but with a reassurance that you are never walking alone. There is something holy about the kind of faith you've carried, the kind that doesn't need a spotlight, the kind that doesn't need to be praised by people, the kind that keeps believing, keeps serving, keeps praying quietly, faithfully, sincerely. That kind of faith is rare. That kind of heart touches heaven deeply. And that kind of spirit is about to be rewarded, not because you demanded it, not because you manipulated or chased it, but because you remain true to who you are, true to your calling, true to a whisper of God that said, just wait, just trust. I'm working this out. And He was. Every second you felt forgotten, He was working. Every time it looked like nothing would change, He was rearranging everything. Every lonely night, He was comforting you even when you couldn't feel it. And now, God is bringing what you've been waiting for, not as a surprise, not as an accident, but as a fulfillment of every quiet prayer, every humble act, every time you chose faith over fear, because your life is not random. Your path is not chaotic. You are being led. God is a purposeful guide. He doesn't miss details. He doesn't forget where He planted His promises. He doesn't start what He won't finish. Philippians 1-6 says, being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. That good work in you, it's still in motion. It didn't stop when things got hard. It didn't stop when you made mistakes. It didn't stop when time passed and nothing made sense. It's been growing underneath the surface like a seed. And now the soil is breaking open. Now the first signs of harvest are appearing. Now your obedience is turning into breakthrough. You didn't lose time. You were being refined. Your character was being strengthened. Your heart was being purified. Your motives were being checked. Your foundation was being built on something that cannot be shaken. And that is what makes this next season different. You won't have to beg. You won't have to prove. You won't have to compete. Because this is a God-given door. And what God gives, He protects. What God gives, He sustains. What God gives, no one can take. This blessing has your name on it. It's shaped for your heart. It's aligned with your purpose. It's timed for your maturity. It's designed to draw you even closer to the one who made you. So when it comes, you'll receive it with peace. You'll walk in it with gratitude. You'll carry it with wisdom. You'll look back at the waiting season, and it won't feel like wasted time anymore. It will feel like sacred preparation, because you'll realize it wasn't just about the blessing. It was about the becoming. You've become stronger. You've become more patient. You've become more discerning. You've become more grounded in who you are in Christ, and no one can take that away from you. Not only is your silent prayer being answered, but you are being elevated emotionally, elevated spiritually, elevated in favor, elevated in clarity, elevated in peace. This next level doesn't come with confusion. It comes with confirmation. You'll know it's from God because it won't drain you. It'll restore you. It won't make you question your worth. It'll affirm it. It won't make you feel smaller. It will remind you that you are seen, chosen, and loved. God is preparing to blow your mind with how precise He is, with how well He understood the prayer you couldn't even put into words, with how accurately He remembered the details you thought didn't matter. with how gently he confirms, I was there the whole time. I never left. I never stopped caring. And I never stopped working for your good. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And that includes you, Dot. Yes, you who doubted if you were still called. Yes, you who wondered if maybe God changed his mind. Yes, you who felt overlooked, underappreciated, forgotten. God never stopped seeing you. He never stopped calling you his own. He never stopped interceding for you through his Spirit. He never once gave up on you, Dot, and now he's confirming, I am faithful to finish what I started in you, so don't give up now. Don't shrink back now. Don't let the enemy whisper lies that you're too late or too broken. God says, you are right on time. This is the moment where things begin to make sense. Where what once felt random now feels orchestrated. Where what once felt delayed now feels right on time, because heaven's clock doesn't run like Earth's, and divine timing is always worth the wait. Now breathe, lift your eyes, and take this moment as your divine reminder. You are entering a new season, a season of rest, a season of clarity, a season of healing, a season of fulfillment. The shift is already in motion. The signs are already appearing. The alignment is already beginning. God is releasing you from cycles. He's removing you from spaces that no longer serve your growth. He's redeeming what was lost. He's repairing what was broken. He's rebuilding what was taken. And it's not too late. It's not over. It's just beginning. So start walking like you know something is about to happen. Start praying like you know heaven is listening. Start preparing like you know the answer is on its way, because it is, and it's coming fast. Isaiah 60:22 says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That's the kind of suddenly you're about to experience. Not a maybe, not a kind of, but a divine suddenly that brings clarity, healing, and provision all at once. So stay available, stay faithful, stay rooted, and say this out loud. Let it be your faith declaration. God is making it happen. I am ready to receive. And if this message stirred your spirit, if it confirmed something you've been holding in silence, if it reminded you that God is still speaking to you directly, please share this video. Someone else needs to hear it. Someone else is praying in the dark. Someone else is on the verge of giving up. Be the one who reaches out. Be the one who sends light into their darkness. And if you haven't already, like this video. Comment below with the words, blessed and ready. Let the world see your faith in action. And please subscribe to God's Message today. The notification bell, so you're always the first to hear when heaven speaks again. This space is not just a channel, it's a spiritual home. A place of daily reminders. A voice that keeps pointing you back to the heart of God. You don't have to walk alone. You don't have to wonder if you're still on the right path, because you are. And the evidence is coming. In peace, in provision, in confirmation, in love. We love you. We are standing in faith with you. And we cannot wait to see what God does next in your life. Until then, keep praying, keep trusting, and keep coming back for more divine encouragement. God bless you. We'll see you in the next message.